Hey there, it is Jer SB here, and I am your coach of the Seattle Pidgeots. And today we are going to take a look at my Week 3 game for the IBL Season 6. If you need a refresher, this is my roster. We are 2-0 before this game, plus 7. So we have 2 wins coming in. We're going up against Ryan, aka the coach of the Oklahoma City Boltunds. He is 1-1, plus 1, I believe, before this match. We have Mega Garchomp, Tapu Koko, Hawlucha, Tangrowth, Rotom Wash, Blaziken, Bronzong, Hatterene, Articuno, Spiritomb, Miltank, and Garbodor. His team is super scary. He has a Rain team with Mega Latios, Tornadus T, Thundurus T, Swampert, Pelipper, Heracross, Hitmonlee, Armaldo, Licky, Clefairy, Rapidash, Galarian form, and Berserker. Super scary on paper, but I think I actually had a good matchup here, having Tapu Koko and Mega Garchomp, who just both really had great offensive matchups, I think. So first of all, we'll go over Mega Garchomp. So this set is very bulky. Garchomp has such high attack that you really don't need to run a lot of it to pick up KOs. So I'm adamant with 20 attack, 64 defense, 252 HP, 44 special defense, and 128 speed. This lets me outspeed Pelipper and everything below that outside of Swift Swim, Armaldo, or any Scarfs. And obviously Rough Skin with Warzone, the Garchomp there. Outrage, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb, if you wanted to switch in Tornadus or Thundurus. On an expected Earthquake, I can go for Rock Tomb, lower their speed, and then outspeed them the next turn and OHKO them with Outrage. So that was my tech there. Next up, we have Scarf Trick, Samsung the Rotom Wash with Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump. Rotom, very utility so far this season. And this is basically, I want to trick a Scarf onto one of his bulkier mons, either Clefairy, if he brings it, or Licky. And then I want to get burns on things like Swampert and things like Armaldo, which threaten me kind of defensively. Swampert's pretty good versus me, as I have no, well, I have Tangrowth, but I had no, it's just a good check to Tapu Koko, and I wanted to get it burned as soon as possible. Obviously, with many Mega Latios on his side of the field, we had to bring the Spiritomb. More of a physically defensive set this week. Foul Play, Shadow Sneak, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split with leftovers. But this is just here to take hits from the Heracross and from the Mega Latios, from offensive Swampert, and yeah, just does loads to everything and takes lots of hits, and of course getting burns is cool too. Next up, bringing Keone for the first time. This is Articuno. If you know where the name is from, you're a goat, first of all, and you should let me know in the comments because I want to be your friend. Anyway, Freeze Dry, U-Turn, Roost, Heal Bell, especially defensive, takes loads of hits from Mega Latios. Basically can eat 3 Dracos, pretty sure. And then the boots, because I'm not bringing Defog on this team, just because I don't think anything other than Articuno really cares about rocks at all, and he had spikers in Heracross and Armaldo, but those didn't really threaten Articuno at all. I mean, they did, obviously, but spikes, etc. So yeah, no Defog. I wanted Heal Bell in case either Garchomp or Spiritomb would get toxic or anything. So next up, Psycho Killer, the Choice Banded Tapu Koko. This set is absolutely very strong. Play rough, plus Wild Charge. There's basically nothing that can switch into it very well. Swampert obviously is his only ground type, and then he has Volt Absorb in the Tornado or Thunderous. But Play Rough does like 70 to Thunderous, and it does like 40 minimum or 40 maximum to, I think it's like 36 to 42 or something, to max defense Swampert. So, and of course, no reliable recovery on there. And I think the reason I ran this is I think he would think that I would run Grass Knot and then do Rindoberry and be able to take me out like that. So I decided not to worry about it. I have lots of other things that can kill Swampert, and getting 40% off on Swampert is pretty awesome. And then next up, we have Power Herb Sky Attack Hawlucha this week. I didn't... Hawlucha twice now has come to games and not come out of its Pokeball. So that is a good thing, but it also means that it wasn't very threatening, and I didn't feel like it could win. So I kind of embraced that with this set, where this is more of a breaker Hawlucha. Obviously, Hawlucha is like Unburden, makes it super fast. Usually you run Swords Dance to get that attack up. But I decided that Sky Attack did like, I think it did like over 50 to Mega Latios, and it just chunked things, and I thought it would be nice to not have to rely on electric terrain to get Hawlucha up and going. And it didn't actually need to be unburdened to outspeed a lot of things in his team, and so I wasn't quite worried about that as much. So I decided Power Herb was good. So let's just get into the match here. Music off, we'll go dark, we will press play, and then we will switch sides. So this happened tonight. I'm recording this kind of late, so ignore that. So he leads with the Tornadus, as I lead with the Rotom Wash. I just click Volt Switch here, thinking he'd either U-turn or he would Hard Swap, because he doesn't want to take Thunderbolt, obviously. So yeah, I go for the Volt Switch here as he goes into his Licky Licky, and that is super for me because I get to see damage, which that damage told me that he was more physically defensive than anything, but I knew that Tapu Koko could probably either threaten him out or make him make hard decisions. So he goes for Protect right away, getting the Leftovers recovery as I go for Play Rough, thinking he would probably bring in Swampert there. But actually I double here as he goes for the Seismic Toss instead of, because I think Play Rough did 40% to the Licky Licky as well, so I didn't want to take Seismic Toss or anything. Thought he could have Earthquake or whatever. So I went into Rotom, and I thought that he might try and Wish Up here, and then I could get off a trick. So I thought he might protect a Scout, but he ends up not doing that, and I get to trick him my Choice Scarf, whereas I get his Leftovers. So that's super cool because that kind of stops him from Wish Protecting up on me, and it helps my breakers really do work. Obviously, he's now Scarfed into Seismic Toss, so I'm able to go into Spiritomb pretty free, and I decide to, I think I Will-O-Wisp here. I do, and I miss on the Will-O-Wisp on the Armaldo, so I go for it again, obviously, and he goes into his obviously specially offensive Tornadus, pretty much revealing that he's not physical there as he takes the burn. I go into Articuno here because I can take any special hit from this thing very easily. Obviously it doesn't do anything to me here, and Articuno is able to go for I think I U-turn. Yes, I do. I do go for the U-turn, and I go right back into Tapu Koko, and I think this time I click Close Combat because he's he can't. I thought he might Scarf himself into Protect, but that would be stupid to Scout. But I do go for Close Combat, chunk the Swampert, uh, and then I go into Wash. He gets the Liquidation Defense drop, but that's alright. I burn him on this turn with Will-O-Wisp, and he goes for rocks here. And so now Earthquake won't kill my Tapu Koko if he caught me at this point with Tapu Koko in or anything. So I just go for a Hydro Pump here. I thought he might switch back into the Licky, but he ends up just going for another Liquidation. And the burn will bring him down to 30% or 15%. And him not being leftovers pretty much tells me that he is Rindoberry. That was pretty obvious at this point. And so I just keep licking Hydro Pump. I get some good damage here on the Licky as he tries to Wish up, but he is Scarfed, so he can't Wish Protect or anything, so I'm good to take damage, and I go into Garchomp here to kind of pressure him more than Rotom would. He goes for Wish there. As I switch into Garchomp, I go for the Earthquake here into the Armaldo. Does over half, but then he's able to get the Wish back, so he's back at 100%. And then he goes into Swampert to sack here. I go for Rocks first turn on the switch, and then go for Earthquake to take out the Swampert, and Garchomp gets another kill. He goes into Latios here, obviously to force me out. Here's where I kind of made a little bit of misplay. Probably should have gone straight into the Spiritomb, as I was able to take Draco Meteor into a -2 Draco Meteor, as he starts to set up Calm Minds here with his Mega Latios. And I soon realized that though Articuno can take hits from Latios forever, basically, see, Freeze Dry does 18%. I can't do anything back, really, because I don't have Toxic. He crits me there, gets me down to 3%, and I U-turn out, doing a good chunk. So I knew if he subbed there, I thought he might, if he had it, which I don't think he did at this point. But if he did sub, I knew the U-turn would break the sub, and I could go into either Tapu Koko or into Spiritomb or into Hlucha. So I kind of had a decision on which mon I wanted to use to stop this thing. So Hlucha and Koko both outspeed, and both could kill at this range, obviously with Play Rough, and then I had Sky Attack on this thing. And so both have a chance to miss, and so if I was going off of the potential hacks, I went into Hlucha, because Hlucha I thought was very much less important in this game than Koko would be if I missed. So if I miss the Play Rough, he kills me with Psychic or whatever. I would rather have Hlucha die to a miss than I would have Koko, and then I'd have a second chance and have Koko still be in after that. So I go for the Power Herb Sky Attack here, and he was kind of bulky, but I think this was not a roll, so it did KO there. He goes into the Tornadus. I have the Stone Edge. I was calcing versus max HP Tornadus, so I thought it wouldn't kill, and then I could just go into Koko and be pretty free to Wild Charge everything. But Stone Edge does end up picking up the KO, not sure if it was roll or anything. And then he goes into Licky. Excuse me, it's late, my voice sucks. But he goes into Licky, reveals he has Ice Beam as his second attacking move, and I'm able to pick up the KO with Drain Punch into Acrobatics. And then he goes Armaldo here. It's not Boots, which is interesting. I go for the Drain Punch just to try and get HP back. I'm assuming that I would die to a Stone Edge there, but he actually doesn't even have Rock type moves. He only has X Scissor. So then I go for Acrobatics, and I'm able to pick up the KO here. He goes for Rapid Spin to get the hazards away, but it won't matter here. Hlucha was going to clean up this game against the Heracross. And yeah, Hlucha sat on the bench. Well, not on the bench. Sat in his Pokeball for 2 weeks. And in week 3, he was sick and tired of that. So he decided to get 5 kills and confirm the 6-0. So GG to Ryan. And yeah, so we move to 3-0, plus 13, I believe. Yep, and let's just take a look here quickly. Yeah, so 6-0 really helps with differential. I've never really had this much success early on in IBL, so this is new territory to me. But next week we face fellow mod Sky and his Sydney Thunderous, which is a crazy team that involves all 4 Reggies. So that's cool. But yeah, so GG. This will go up tomorrow. And thank you all for watching. If you do watch, and leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite nickname was of mine, and if you got the Kion, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Kioni, whatever, reference on the Articuno, let me know. Alright, goodbye.